10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now live.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. You are muted.
You are muted. Wow, it is Tuesday, and it is Bob Plass, Westfield on Weekends show, and it is. Oh my God, I'm all combobulated. What's the word? Miscombobulated.
Discombobulated.
Discombobulated. Oh,
That's
there's
you, Bob.
Rick Barry coming into the studio.
Yeah.
It is January 25th. 2022.
3 days until my birthday, Bob, and I won't be able to see you before that. I'm kind of bummed out about that.
Oh no, and I had a little birthday gift for you.
Is it a regift like you normally do?
It is a beautiful calendar sent to me by our state representative.
Regift.
No, state by Richie Neal sent this to me.
Oh, good
and
Lord.
45,000 other people.
Does it tell the right date? It is Richie, you know.
Oh, I don't. It's celebrating Frederick Law Olmsted, the guy that what's the word? He invented the parks in America. He did Forest Park and Central Park and all of that sort of stuff. And he's the landscape architect of the Capitol in Washington. So there are all these beautiful pictures of Washington.
Okay.
And there's Rosa Parks. There's a Rosa Parks. I don't know. She has nothing to do with him. I don't know what the heck that is. Landscape. At any rate, this was going to be my nice little present to you, and I have another one for Rick Barry because you're so good and understanding. Happy birthday! When it's tomorrow?
No, my birthday is on the 28th, so I'll be in Florida for that.
So your birthday is going to be this weekend,
Yes.
Friday.
Yes.
And you're going to celebrate in Florida?
I am, yes.
Oh, and how long are you going to be there?
Only 3 days, unfortunately, because my girlfriend couldn't get any more time off.
Oh, gosh. So you're going to Disney World?
No. No. Good Lord. No, I'm going to where I normally go in the Space Coast area.
Okay.
But we're going a little further south down to a place called Fort Pierce.
Oh, geez, I think I had somebody who lived there.
Near Port
St. A friend of mine lived there once.
Near Port St. Lucie, that area.
Yeah, I've heard of all those ports down there. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm working on getting Rick in.
Like...
I'm working on getting Rick into the picture here. We can I can turn up his mic. Are you on mic 1 or 3, Rick?
I'm on 4.
No, you're on 1. We can hear you.
It's changed.
We can hear him perfectly.
How did it change?
I want to see him though.
I'm working on that. Give me a second.
Oh, all right.
This used to be mic 4.
No.
No?
No, that's
how many
always
mics do
1.
we have in that studio? We had
5, but we removed 1.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sitting here. My ceiling doesn't look like this normally. Does it? Does it look like there's a gray thing right here?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a different color wood.
It's like the light is shining in the wrong way here. Oh, it's the LED light that makes it shine like that.
Yeah.
You know? And then we've got this pipe over here. I don't know if you can see the pipe there.
It's just the glow off your presence, Bob. That's
Is it the glow? Oh, there is. I think I do need a little powder today, and maybe a little less. Maybe that's better. If I'm way back here like this, I don't know. Let's see if I can. Look, I woke up this morning. I was all set to come in. I had a present for Rick. I had a present for you. I have a gentleman who is in my book club who has a tape of his. He was a former disc jockey, radio personality, and he's really a great guy, and he's looking to have a program, and so I had told Jay McCoy, his name is. Do you know him at all?
No.
I think he's from Southwick at any rate. But so I wanted to get this to you, but this is what happened. Oh, Rick, hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Morning. Rick Barry, trusted, permanent sidekick over there to the left. Over there to the left is my great friend, the kitten of the Keys.
Meow.
The kitten of the Keys.
Meow.
God. Somebody shoot me.
I think somebody shot that cat. That's why.
Yeah, he's getting ready for a plunge. That's right. Peter Coles right there. But so I want to, when I can walk on the snow without fear of falling, this is what happened. See, I woke up this morning, all set, got up at 5:15, showered, got all dressed, got all ready to go, walked to the door, and realized that it had snowed, and my driveway was covered with snow. Now it has all these icy patches all over the place there.
And Bob doesn't remember
And
where
then
the
I said-
patches are.
And I can't remember where the patches. Well, I know one patch in particular, but I don't know the other patches.
That's happened to
And
me,
then I
Bob.
start-
In 2016, I was paying my rent at the landlord's house.
Yeah.
I walked out and I had no idea where any of the icy patches were, and I slipped by his vehicle and wrenched my knee so bad that I thought I had a girl have surgery for it. I was out for like a week doing the
Oh
shows
my
from
God,
home.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
So
the
what
last
was
chance
this
for my
one?
ex-wife.
Oh,
No, seriously.
what was it? You said he was you.
The
he
last-
nursed you through it.
It was the last chance for my ex-wife. I invited her home after being separated for a couple months to see if we could give it a shot. I needed
Right.
help. She helped me, and then 2 weeks later, things went right back to normal. And I said, yeah, and I was very clear with her what this was all about. Like, I needed help, and that this was like to see if there was anything left in this relationship. And
Oh,
and I was real clear. I mean, very, very clear about it. And and there wasn't. And things went right back to the way they were. And I was like, no.
see, you slipped in two ways that day. You slipped on the ice, and then you made this mistake that.
No, it wasn't a mistake.
somebody-
It was a
It was a slip.
it was a calculated risk.
Oh my God.
And this
You
is
sound just like a man.
and this
Oh
is
my God, I need your
this
help.
is
Come on and
therapy
prove to me that
with
you
Bob
love me.
Plass.
What is this?
This is therapy,
Therapy
with Bob Plass.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
why
said
not
each
take
step-
advantage of it?
Yeah. It's this is it.
Don't we all need therapy?
Yes,
I think we all need therapy. We all need therapy.
Bob does.
All the time. Oh God. I was thinking the other day that I was in therapy for probably 20 years of my life. That sounds like a hell of a long time. No, longer than that.
It is.
I
Bob.
might have been in therapy for 25 years. One with one woman, and then another guy had the bravery in New York City. It's a real great guy, great heart. His name was Bud Hart, George Bud Hart. We talked about him because he's the one that built his motel or hotel in Bali with the money that I spent on him.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
No, literally,
so
I
at
do.
any rate-
Rick, I remember that.
God, I was trying to decide what to do with I needed help with my life all over the place. And then it turned out that what I wanted to do was exactly what I was getting, which was therapy. So that's how I became a therapist after being an actor. We were working on how poorly the roles were coming in, or the work was coming in, and how many hors d'oeuvre trays I had to pass at 40. And then suddenly it turned into this is what I want to do in my life. How to get
This is your life, Bob Plass.
this is your life. Have you guys ever been to a therapist? This
Yes.
is terrible.
Yes.
You don't have to answer that question if you
Yes.
don't want to.
Yes.
You have. Okay.
I have
Peter,
too.
did you enjoy it at all?
No, not really, because I thought that the therapist was just trying to get me to go to more sessions. I was
Oh,
completely
that's always
brutally
a problem.
honest, and they were like, "You're not being upfront." Like, I'm being brutally honest, and you're not listening. That's a problem.
Wow.
I think I went to
Yeah,
4
it's-
sessions, and I was like, I feel better, actually. I don't know about you. Well, I think you need to come to more sessions. No,
I had
I
somebody say that to me once.
I
yeah.
feel really good. I think you're just milking me. I said this. You're just milking me for more money. Anyway, I can't believe you said that. I said, I've been brutally honest the whole time. Why stop now?
Oh man.
Seriously.
I lied. I had 3 therapists, and the third therapist at one point said, "You can't leave. You've got more work to do." I said, "I know me, and I don't need this." And it's all about relationship if you really think about it. And in fact, there's an article for everyone who wants to read the book review of the New York Times. The book on the front page is by a therapist. His name is Mark Epstein, and or Mark Levine. No, is it Mark? No, it's Mark Epstein. He wrote a book called Thoughts Without a Thinker, and he's got a new book out about psychotherapy and Buddhism because he's a practicing Buddhist, and it really basically spills the beans about therapy. That the best thing about therapy is that you have a place to go with an active listener who listens and helps you to get there. And if the person isn't listening, then you have to find someone else, because not everybody. I had a couple of clients once that I said, "Oh my God," I think I almost fell asleep once with a client because
Actually, you know what, Bob?
they bored me so much.
I've also been in couples.
Isn't that awful?
I've also been in couples therapy twice, and the first time the therapist actually felt bad for me. I got there early because my ex-wife was coming from her job and I was coming from mine. I got there early and he's like, if I were to give you my true advice, I would say this isn't going to work, but I will teach you how to what he said was productively argue. And,
that's a good one.
Right. And he says, that's the best I can do for you guys because, I could go into detail, but it's not fair. So, but then the second one, I decided I was going to be.
He sounds like a good one, incidentally.
He was. His name's Miles Morrissey. Great guy. He works over in South Hadley now. The second one, we went to, and I decided I was going to be brutally honest because that was after the incident with, the whole my knee thing and everything.
Right.
Maybe it was before that. It was before that. And I decided to be brutally honest, and she finally was brutally honest, and that's when everything kind of came to a head.
And she was brutally honest and said, "This isn't working. I don't want you as a client."
No. Still doing what she was doing. She was showing the therapist what she was doing
you're talking
with
about
me.
Your wife, not the therapist. I thought the therapist said, "Yeah, I agree."
The second therapist was shocked as to what was going on. Like I saw her look at me when something was said, and she looked at me like, "Really?" And I went, "Oh yeah, this is what happens all the time." And she went, "Wow." I could see, and you could see, it was like, "Wow, okay."
Well, you sometimes can't give, you can't. You have to watch the interactions in a couple situation or in a group situation, because that'll help you to. But you have to never take sides. Although you never in a group want to have somebody alone with their feelings or whatever. And so, how people gang up on somebody let's suppose you were in a table of 5 people. There might be one person that really is alone there. As a therapist, you really have to find a way to sort of be with that person so they don't feel alone. It's it takes an awful lot to be a therapist. And I think how to be in the moment and how to listen with a good ear and then respond in a good ear.
I think some of them, like you said, don't know what they're doing.
Well, some of them want to talk. Well, some of them maybe got in there because they were wounded, as we call them, wounded healers. A wounded healer is somebody who's been wounded and learned to get through it and uses like me. I mean, I wonder what my therapist or clients would say if they knew that I had been in therapy for 25 years. Would you have gone running for the hills, Rick? If you knew that I was in therapy at the moment and helping you?
No.
You wouldn't?
No, because it wouldn't surprise me that a therapist needs therapy.
Oh, therapists need. Oh,
And also,
oh,
if you're been in therapy, you might understand the process better than most,
yes, yeah.
other
I
than just
hope.
learning it from a book.
Yeah, when I was studying at Fordham, I had some people in my class that I said to myself, "Boy, all they want to do is tell people what to do, rather than listen and get the person to what's the word to come to their own decisions about the and even if they choose a decision that's wrong in your mind, you can help them to
Yeah, but Bob,
maybe take that decision and learn from it.
that's somebody like me.
Yes.
I'm a fixer. So my thing is I listen, and then I try to help you, because if I see a way out of it, my natural instinct is to try to help you get out
Oh.
of it. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
could be how they
Yeah.
come at that thing. I understand that completely.
Yeah.
I've had to really
Yeah,
learn my listening skills.
you don't want to stop somebody too soon. Also, you don't want to give. I have a box of handkerchiefs, or I had it in my office, and oftentimes people say, "Look, you have your handkerchiefs right there," and I would explain to them that crying is healthy, and I would probably give you a handkerchief if you were dripping and you really needed to get rid of it. But I'm not going to hand you a handkerchief when you've begun to cry, because that's an important, healthy thing to do. And I don't want to say, here, stop your crying, I'm afraid of it. You have to sort of sit with somebody when they're crying.
There's
These
times.
are all tricks.
Hey, listen,
Anybody can.
if we're all being honest around here, there's times where a movie or a song will catch me, and I'll just break out crying.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. And even
and it's
in
all
real
pent
life,
up,
I mean,
whatever.
yeah. I was saying to a friend of mine recently that about intimacy, and I was saying that what's most intimate in couple relationships is the ability to talk and tell the truth to one another, and listen and argue and be in the moment with your feelings, and then move on and learn to accept the feelings of the other person. You know,
That's where I'm at
that's
now.
really intimate.
That's
You
where
know.
I'm at now.
Oh, you are? Okay, good.
Whether
Well,
I like it or not, sometimes the brutal honesty that I give and get is far more valuable than dancing around or gaslighting or stuff like that.
well, if you do that discussion with kindness toward the other person,
Well, yeah.
and with the filter that says, in your mind, how can I help my spouse? How can I
Sometimes
help my girlfriend or boyfriend?
sometimes it's better to get that hard truth as a message, and then you have a discussion about it afterwards. You know what I mean? So you can read it as text. Like that.
So,
That's happened a couple of times where she hasn't felt comfortable saying something, but sends it as a message, which prompts a conversation, which is not mean-spirited or anything, but then kind of gets to the deeper root of where that text message came from.
well, the conversation is the intimate part.
Rick's just listening, going, "Oh my God, Pete,
Yeah,
what's your
yes.
problem? What's your problem, son?"
I'm listening to. I'm the therapist here. I'm listening to you. You guys are working out your issues together.
Oh, Bob and
This is group therapy. This is group therapy, and it's good for people.
This is group therapy.
Yes,
It is group therapy. We have learned to argue with the best.
I know Bob and I are great. We're great debaters. We love to spar with each other, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes
I was
Bob,
almost tempted
sometimes
this morning.
Bob take it personally, but because I can tell because I'm getting them all
Oh
riled up.
no! I never take it personally. I mean,
You get riled up though.
I get riled up. This is what you believe, and this is what I believe, and they clash sometimes. And then we move to a place where I find you most appealing, and move on. You know what that is?
Bob needs to go to his safe space.
Oh yeah, you have to find what you like in somebody, and if somebody has an issue that you don't agree with, you have to say, okay, I have to either accept you with that position, or not accept you. And then if you say, okay, I'm going to accept you, then you then have to say, okay, what are the good points? What are the bad points, etc.
One of the biggest problems with our country right now.
Don't have, I mean, bad points. People aren't bad intrinsically. You know?
One of the biggest problems with our country right now is that people are not accepting of other people with other views. That's one of the, and that comes from both sides.
It's a very hard thing.
But it is more if you look at opinion polls and things like that, it's more directed from one side to the other. There still does happen the other way, but it's more directed from one side to the other of just the mindset of the other side politically.
Well, you know what? I bet on both sides.
There's still some.
Somebody to say that on both sides.
Yeah. No. I that's what I said. There's still some, but the higher percentage, and it's well higher, from one side to the other of thinking that the other side is just bad people. They're not good people with bad ideas, just bad people. Period. I think it was a Quinnipiac study that brought that out, and that kind of surprised me.
Well, we don't think one another is evil.
No, we don't. But
you is evil when you have an opinion that's different from me.
No, we don't. But no, we don't. But we know each other well enough to know that somebody's multifaceted, right? So I'm not just that one opinion. But a lot of people nowadays are just saying, well, because you're this brand, that you're just a bad person. And they don't go any further into that person. They just automatically are stereotyped as a bad person. And that drives me nuts.
Rick, I'll ask you this question. Have you ever got rid of somebody in your life that was whose opinions were different than yours? Who was too negative? I mean, what's a friend who had differing opinions?
No, not at all.
Kept them.
Yeah, neither have I, but only if it's toxic. So I had a friend who...
Well, toxicity, that's what I was looking for with Rick, was the idea that if they somehow or other are infringing on your peace, if I made up my mind that I'm going to be surrounded by positive people, and there are negative people in my life, then I can ease them out of my life in one way or another. If I want to live a life without negativity with those people in it. I mean, but where was I going with that?
But is that negative? Do you define that as people of like mind, where you become an echo chamber and you never have any challenges to your beliefs? Or do you define that as, you know what I mean? There's two different definitions of that.
Yeah. You either have to accept that somebody is not going to listen and not compromise, or not. I think sometimes if I feel like I'm being talked at all the time and not listened to,
that's a different story. That's somebody who's not respecting you.
Yeah, I think that's very true, Rick. Yeah. Incidentally, you look very handsome today. Is that a turtleneck you're wearing?
No, it's not. It's just a pullover.
He's wearing all dark clothing.
I'm wearing a dickie, okay?
Oh my God.
That'd be an ascot.
Oh, I'm sorry, an ascot. I'm sorry.
Did you ever wear a dickie?
No, I don't think so. Maybe when I was a little kid or something like that. So I don't know.
Explain to folks in Wisconsin what a dickie is. It's so stupid.
And it's the turtleneck without the shirt.
A mock neck.
It's got the turtleneck neck.
It's a mock neck.
But it's got no shirt to it, just a couple of flaps on the front and the back.
It's like it's a waddle cover. That's what it is.
Or
it's a waddle cover.
A goiter?
No, that's a different type of thing.
A gator. Whatever
a gator. I had a couple of dickies.
How come that doesn't surprise me?
I did. And I also had those ties that you clip-on ties.
Clip-on ties?
And
I had those, Bob. Those were requisite in Catholic school. when you were in
God.
elementary school. When
Oh,
you got
man.
to high school, you had to learn how to tie a tie.
Do you think that there? I wonder if on Google we could find Dickies now. It's spelled Dickey, or what do you call these things with clip-on ties?
Oh, clip-on ties
Would you
they still
check
make.
to see whether there's somebody making them out there?
They still make clip-on ties.
They still make clip-on ties. Wow. That would help me because
Fake
sometimes
turtleneck, Dickie detachable collars set to half-top mock blouse. They're mainly for women nowadays. They're not
mainly
made for
women.
They're not made for men.
Ah.
They don't make them for
Really?
men.
When did
the
that
ones that I'm
law
finding are
come
for women's. They're all for women.
Oh, geez. Well, a neck is a neck. You know,
See-
you just buy one and wear it proudly as a man.
Oh, Amazon's got the unisex ones.
Oh, really?
Most
Oh,
of the ones I'm
there
seeing are
we
for
go.
women. But
See anything there that you'd like, Rick?
No. No.
Then you're going to have to accept.
Hey,
you're going to have to accept this lovely calendar from State Representative Neil, Congressman.
you're really
Neil.
trying to dump that off, aren't you, Bob?
I got two of them. And I'm going to dump them off at somebody. I have to because I have too many calendars. You know, I get a calendar from Holy Cross. I get
There you
a
go,
calendar from here we go. Okay, wait a minute.
Look at there's
Everybody,
even
I'm looking at
there's even a formal one.
Yeah, there's formal ones with like all kinds of collars and stuff.
Really? What is the difference between a formal Dickie and
There's a small one right
regular
there on the right there.
One's got a collar, the other one's I don't know.
Like there's a
You mean
frilly
they
one
make
over there
them
on the
with
right hand
collars?
side. Look at that,
Yeah.
like partial shirt collars.
This is ridiculous. Honest to God. Totally ludicrous. Oh, I like a good turtleneck. I really like a good turtleneck. And I haven't, you don't see them as often. I mean, like I saw them at, I saw them at LLB recently. You got to go to I don't think they're out there as much as possible as they used to be or popular.
Good Lord, Bob. That's crazy.
I don't know. Anything to keep me from looking like Winston Churchill. You know, you put a little Dickie on, but it's got to go up near my ears like this. You see?
Pete?
I'm
How
changing
much
your
handsomer
theme.
am I?
I'm changing your theme music to "You're So Vain" by Carly Simon.
Oh God, am I vain? Believe me, that's another whole story. Hey, let's take a break. Speaking of being kind and everything, I've been wanting to play this song for months, only because it's a good song, and I like Bix Beiderbecke, who is an orchestra leader from the 40s and the 50s.
Who to what?
Actually, 40s. Bix Beiderbecke.
Okay.
And it might be Bix Beiderbecke. I know I'm not. There's a K-E on the end of it, and if he's if he's Dutch or German, I think it might be Beiderbecker. Maybe that's, I don't know. But anyway, the name of the song, Rick, for you is "Thou Swell, Thou Pretty, Thou Great, Not Thou Grand." And it's by Rodgers and Hart from a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. And here we go. Bix Beiderbecke.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday and it is June 25th.
Did you have to look at your calendar? You're on the wrong month there.
It's January, Bob.
January. I kept getting those months confused for some reason. January 2022 and counting. That's Rick Berry and Peter Coles to the left of me here. And hey, I got a question for you. I need help. Okay. I got a bill yesterday.
Sorry.
A bill from who?
Oh, here. It was a bill from Spirit Airlines. I joined Spirit Airlines a couple of years back. Have you ever flown Spirit?
No, but my mom has.
You know, it's a really cheap and a good airline, etc. But they don't have any frills or anything, and you end up buying the glass of water for $10 or whatever. But
your luggage costs more than you do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And at any rate, somehow or other, I think I signed up for their program and a card, a Bank of America card.
Ooh.
And every year in January, I get a bill for the year, and I always end up paying it, even though I don't want it, and I don't usually fly Spirit Air.
From your program fee, yeah, you cancel the card, Bob.
Yeah, so I called yesterday to cancel, and they said, well, they've got one of these automated persons talking to me.
Representative!
And they are going on about, well, what are you calling about? And I said, I want to cancel my card. I think I should never have said that because somehow or other, I think they heard the word cancel.
Yeah.
I was on the phone waiting.
Oh, Bob, it's like a hard sell.
Well, I didn't even get to talk to anybody. I kept saying, I want to talk to a representative. Well, representative will be with you in a moment, but we have another question for you. And
of course
they asked me another question. And I said, yes, no, whatever.
Don't answer. Just keep saying representative. Then say supervisor.
Yeah, but I was waiting for a representative. I finally gave up after about 30 minutes.
You know what, Bob, I say the first time you log in and get thing, I'm contacting my attorney general.
Oh.
Because it's fraud.
Oh, you get the law right here.
Well, yeah,
because I'm thinking.
Just say if I don't talk to somebody, I'm contacting my attorney general. And they'll be like, that'll recognize on the voice system too.
Well, every year I get.
Or just contact the attorney general's office. Yeah,
this is the only bill I get at all because I don't use it. Okay, I don't even have the card in my possession. I don't know where my card is, to tell you the truth. Okay, and
that's a bigger problem.
And it always says that I'm overdue. I'm late because I never received this thing. Okay. And so
I would just, you know what, Bob? I would just contact the attorney general's office straight away, because although you did sign up for it, their business practices after you sign up for it merit the attention of the attorney general.
I will do this.
And Maura's running for governor, so she needs the ammunition.
But is it a bill that's saying that you owe them money?
Yes.
Yeah, no, he signed up for the program. So, like, even with my Southwest card, there's an annual fee on the card, right? Yes. So they get you with the annual fee, but normally they put it on your card balance, right? So this is the scam. Well, it's not really a scam because you agree to it. But if Bob's trying to cancel and they're not allowing him and they still charge him the fee, then now it becomes somewhat of a fraud.
Right. See, I always get the cards with no fees. That's what I always look for first.
I think the Southwest card has no fee, but one of them does, and yeah.
This one is.
I'm going to get rid of a few of my cards because I'm paying down my debt. I only want to keep a credit line of about $5,000 or $6,000. That total.
Well, my credit line here is $12,000. Can you imagine?
Ooh, that's where we going,
Bob. That's my total credit line.
Where we going?
Yeah,
really.
Bob's taking the show to Orlando.
We're taking the we're taking the show on the road.
We're going to sit
where we're going.
We're going to sit around the pool with Kenny.
Crazy.
We're going to Phyllis G's Bakery in downtown.
No, it's
Chrissy
not
G's.
Phyllis. It's
Chrissy G's.
It's my former partner, Christine.
Yes, you're getting confused there.
Christine was my partner, at the dispatch. She was one of my partners.
Yeah, I knew that.
Well, guess what? You don't know this?
No, I saw the article.
Yeah.
On a scratch ticket.
$4 million in the lottery.
On the scratch ticket.
Good for her.
On a scratch ticket.
Yes.
She accepted it as a whole sum. So she was given $2 million, whatever, out of that.
2.3 before taxes, which means it's about 1.8 before the government takes all their money.
Yeah, yeah. So can you imagine being a millionaire? I wonder if she's going to keep the shop.
Yeah.
Because she makes some really good bread.
She enjoys the shop. That's always been one of her passions, making cakes. Since as long as I've known her, that's been one of her passions. And she was always making like wedding cakes as a contract type thing out of her house, even while she was working as a dispatcher.
Wow. She was really nice. I mean, like she said she was going to do this and do that, et cetera, et cetera. I think was it going to buy a car or go on a long vacation?
No, she was going to look at a vacation home.
A vacation home. Oh yeah, yeah.
I know it's always well, and her husband works really hard too. He was Coast Guard, and now he's a communications specialist, doing like radio systems and things like that.
Oh, so everybody go in and congratulate Chrissy G in her bakery. As for being a big winner. I figured if we went down, maybe she'd pay my bill.
No, Bob.
That's not how it works.
Last name is not Gullible.
That's
okay.
Bob, that's not how this works.
That's not how any of this works.
No.
Thank you, Peter.
Rick, if I write I'm cancel my account on this.
Yeah, actually, you can do that. Actually, you can do that right on the pay return slip. I believe if you do that and mail it back to them, I would take a copy of it and just mail it back where it's where you'd usually put your remnants of your pay in, and you want to cancel this account.
But it says I owe them money.
If you want to cancel it, you don't have to.
I didn't. Pardon?
You could still cancel it, Bob. They might try to come after you, but I would contact the Attorney General's office and ask them how to proceed with this. Ask for the fraud department.
All right. That I can't get through.
That they're not allowing you to cancel.
I want to cancel. Mm-hmm. I should have canceled in December. See, I'm overdue a month now. It says $25. I'm overdue because I didn't pay in December. Apparently, that's when they bill in December. But in December, I did not receive a bill in the mail.
Yeah, Bob,
I don't think.
We're telling you it's a scam. So you need to contact the Attorney General's office. That's what you do.
All right. We will report on this.
Somebody's not listening.
Get back to you.
Huh? What'd you say?
Huh? What?
Do you think they're listening today? Do you think I'm going to have...
No, you're not listening to us, Bob.
Oh, God. I'm a therapist. I'm paid to listen.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they have to listen.
Yeah, right.
In which they don't.
That's true.
Well, think about it. I don't know if any of you guys ever tried to cancel anything with Comcast. It's easier to get a frontal lobotomy than it is to get anything canceled from Comcast. They're tough.
Really?
Right? Pete, have you ever had any dealings with trying to cancel anything?
Yeah, when I canceled, yeah.
They're tough.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they don't want you to cancel, but then they don't want to work with you to keep you as a customer.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that they are often, that's when they win me over by making me fearful or anxious.
Make you feel bad.
What will happen
So if we
don't
guilt
have
you
this?
into something.
Oh yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, it makes me really angry, and when a business, when a big business doesn't help the client. But then I still remember my flowers that I got from Chewy.com when Frankie died, my dog. I was so taken aback that they would care enough to send me flowers.
And that's a company.
Business.
That's good business practice, and that's a company who is taking care of their customers. Which is what we don't see a lot of nowadays. We don't see a lot of customer service
like that. Yeah.
And most people out there are the first persons to jump on a business with bad customer service. They're reluctant to give anybody a praise, which is unfortunate.
I know. We talked about Chewy for almost an hour one morning here.
Yeah.
Oh, remember. Yeah. When I'm in line at the Big Y or Stop and Shop, if the folks who are checking me out are really nice or whatever, I always thank them.
Does James know they're checking you out?
Hey now.
Just
they're checking me out, and then they're up chucking over in the side over here. Honest to God.
Oh boy.
Hey, I put down on my sheet. We need to tell people about the Penguin Plunge.
The Plunge,
Mr. Berry.
The Plunge coming up Saturday. As you can see, I got my hat on. I've got my coffee mug.
And
Let's
guess
see,
what?
Can I get this in the picture? There we go.
I don't know if I
From
can
the
do this.
second. This coffee mug's from the second.
Push it closer to the screen.
Let's see. There we go.
No, straight on.
Right in front of my face. There we go. That looks.
What
better.
is it? A penguin?
It's the Penguin. Yes, having a barbecue. It was from from 2006.
Holy mother!
That's how long.
I'm wearing penguin socks today. Oh wait a minute! Oh God, help me!
That's how long I've been involved with this.
Look at this.
This is the guy who. Wait a minute.
Socks.
This is the guy who couldn't come in because he said he's got a bad back.
I do.
And you're pulling your leg above your head.
That's
oh my God.
That's his physical therapy.
Oh,
you know what? Also,
if you see me try to get out of the seat, it's really awful.
You know what is also good therapy?
You know what it is, Bob? You're not walking a dog anymore. You need a new dog.
No. What happened was I made up a resolution this week that I was going to walk every day, downtown and back, and whatever, and make sure that I do that. Because I hate to tell you the truth.
Walk the same route you walk the dog.
Yeah. So I walked so on the way back, I said, I'm going to add some mileage to this walk. So I walked into the parking lot of the insurance company on Broad Street. And I said, this is what I did. I walked this way, then I walked that way, then I walked this way, then I walked that way, and I turned and whatever. That's when I screwed up. Because I was walking, I was turning and walking and turning and walking and turning. I swear I pulled my back out doing that.
Ouch.
And that was just to add about 100 feet or 10 feet to my walk. 100 feet, 10 feet probably. I don't know.
Well, you know what's good therapy for your back? You know what's good therapy for your back, Bob?
What is it? Sitting?
Cold water immersion. So if you come Saturday and jump in the lake with me, your back will feel better. Or you might not feel anything at all. You won't feel anything. So.
Man. Is there? Hey, what's the lake looking like? Is there ice on the lake now?
Oh yeah, there is. There is a good amount of ice on the lake. In fact, yesterday.
Didn't the fire department do their training drill or something?
They were doing some training drills on it. Yes, on it yesterday up at the ponds. So
the area that you do this is secure, and you have all kinds of safety.
It's on the beach at Hampton Ponds.
Yes, it's on the beach at Hampton Ponds. Yes, and there we do have all sorts of safety precautions from the fire department. The fire department cuts the ice away, and they actually have divers in their dry suits in the water Yeah, and that's what it sounds like. And that in case something happens, so they're there to help in case you get hurt or you can't get out because you're so cold or so it's gonna
Go in, ring the bell, get out.
So
get in, ring the bell, and get out. It's going to be an.
You have to ring the bell.
You don't have to.
And are you being? And are you timed? How long you stay in?
No. But the firemen will. The firemen will graciously ask you to get out of the water, like they have done with me a few times, because I stay.
Rick, it's time to get out. You're gonna get hypothermia.
I stay in a little too long.
Yeah.
But after the last few years, I don't though. I don't stay in as long anymore.
Are there awards for certain costumes or?
Yes, yeah, you can dress up in costumes. Yeah, costumes. Just costumes and teams, and we're asking people to help out. You know, come dressed up, have a good time, jump in the water, be a little crazy for the day. But right now, it's looking like a very interesting day, with the possibility of a nor'easter heading our way.
Oh my God! No, don't tell me. On Saturday,
Friday into Saturday.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe lasting to Sunday.
Yes, it's
Holy Mother.
Maybe I'll have to spend another day in Florida. Oh, shame.
Oh my God. So, am I going to be able to drive? I was going to drive to New York to go to a memorial service and then drive back on the same day.
If you're in Friday to Saturday, I wouldn't. Snow
depending
and
on
you don't drive in a nor'easter?
Well, if it's going to be snowing, Bob, I wouldn't drive.
Yeah, depending on the severity of the storm and the track they're talking about, it could get kind of tricky from Friday night into Saturday. Friday night, and they said possibly into Sunday morning, but I saw Saturday night.
1/2 inch an hour, Bob. That's a lot of snow.
So.
Oh man! Holy God, help me! All right. So we're back to the plunge.
Yes.
Enough about me and my drive to New York City.
You know what, Bob? If you're going to New York City, take the train. That way you don't have
there's
to drive.
no train. It's been canceled. I read in the paper yesterday.
CT Rail is going to add train trips on Saturday or Sunday or something.
Yeah. But right now there is no train travel from Springfield to New Haven like there used to be.
Yeah, there is. There's like one a day.
There's one a day. Yeah. Holy God, help me.
Hey, just to let you guys know, it's not going to be much warmer down there where I'm going.
That's my heart's breaking there. You're going to Florida,
and it's not going to be warm.
What's the temperature going to be?
It's going to be in the 70s for Thursday and Friday, but with rainy, and then it's going to be clear and 53 with lows of 35. And then Sunday it'll be 57, low of 39. So it'll be chilly. It'll be chilly when it'll be warm the first 2 days.
Bring your fleece.
I'm just hoping to see some rocket launches. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, so Rick.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us. I got an email from Chuck Kelly this week, and asking me to donate.
Yeah.
And I donated. I donated some money for his jump, but I also knew that you are my wonderful companion, and I want to make sure that I do you well.
Yeah. Do you want to do it electronically? Do you want to do it? You can do it electronically. You can go right to.
I did it on my phone.
Yeah, you can do it on your phone.
Send me an email.
I can send you a text, but you said you were going to write me a check, but I can send you I can do it actually.
Why don't we
right
do it
now.
that way? Because then you.
But you can
do that.
You can go to AmeliaParkMuseum.org, and there's a button right there that brings you right to, for anybody listening. But Bob, I'll send you my link.
Okay.
You can go.
But how do you find? I wanted to give it to you and not to the
Right. I'm going to send you my personal link.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to send you my link. But people can learn more about the plunge on the Amelia Park Children's Museum website. There's a button to click that will teach you about the plunge. If you're on Facebook, we have a Facebook event page. You can learn about it there. If you're on Facebook, look me up, Rick Barry, Barry. My plunge pictures and everything are all through my Facebook account. So we're asking people to come join us in jumping in the water. Or
what's the time?
It we start jumping at 1 o'clock. Registration starts at noon. So we start jumping right at 1 o'clock, and it's usually done by about 1:30 or so. You know, we get in and out. We get in and out really quickly. Yes.
And
if you don't want to plunge, or you're chicken or a yellow penguin, or
You can still show up and support.
you can still show up and support, or you can make a donation.
Yeah.
All the money goes directly to the Amelia Park Children's Museum to help run our programs and to provide a safe haven for kids to learn and play. In fact, this year we are celebrating our 25th anniversary of the museum.
unbelievable.
We have been around
Unbelievable.
for 25 years. It started downtown at where Vivid Salon is now, I believe.
Where Basha is.
Yeah.
Yes, where Basha's
Basha
salon
Bell is,
Yep.
yes.
Where her salon is, and then we, had the building built out in the Amelia Park complex.
Yeah.
So we are there. We are, it's funny, museums like ours are not self-supporting. That's why we have fundraisers and stuff like that, to be able to have a place for kids to safely play and learn and just to have a good time. So, and it helps us run our programs, and it helps us with our everyday operations. So, because our ticket prices are kept low for
Your
a
admission
reason.
prices.
Our admission prices, yes, are kept reasonable for a reason, because we want people to be able to come in. We don't want to be able to say, to have somebody say, "Oh, I can't afford to take my kids there. I can't afford to do them." We help with the schools with some field trips. We help with daycare providers who want to take their kids on a field trip, so they get a break on how much it costs for them to come in.
Right.
So,
Right.
So it makes it reasonable for somebody who normally wouldn't be able to afford to come in.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Yeah, I think that it's very wonderful that our city has a children's museum. It's not every city that has a children's museum, and an active board at the Children's Museum that really works to try to keep that alive and keep it going. And this is your major fundraiser, isn't it?
It was one of our major fundraisers of the year. Yes, we do some smaller fundraisers, and we actually have one larger fundraiser, the Brewfest.
So that's a large fundraiser.
The Brewfest.
The
of
Brewfest,
course.
yes, is another one for that. So,
And so everybody, you go to Amelia Park Children's Museum, or you go to ameliapark.org. Is that
it's
it?
ameliaparkmuseum.org.
ameliaparkmuseum.org.
Yep.
And that's where you can go on Facebook, or you can go on Rick Barry's Facebook page and find out all about him. Barry. And they could, we're not going to suggest, you can choose, if you know somebody who's plunging, you can back them or promote them. But if you don't know anybody and you wanted to use Rick, he's there. You have your choice, et cetera, right? I love the idea. Hey, get this. I have a perfect song. Did you know that in Albania, there's such a thing as the penguin wedding dance?
No, I did not know that.
And you can see a lot of people doing the penguin wedding dance. It's sort of like the hoochie coochie. No, what do you call it? The hokey pokey.
It's not the hooky
hoochie
Hooky cooch. That's different, Bob.
Come on, man.
The hooky, what is it? Hokey pokey.
The hokey pokey.
Okay.
Come on,
So the
man.
penguin. So in order to do the penguin dance, you go one to the right, one to the left, one to the right, one to the left, hop, 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 one to the right, one to the left. I think that's it. And
I'm gonna have to look that.
so
I'm gonna have to look
this
that
is
up.
The music that they even have their own music. So Peter, we're going to play the Albanian penguin dance Rick, would you get up and demonstrate the dance? One to the right,
No.
one to the left, one to the right, one to the left.
No,
Hop, hop,
I'm
hop.
not dancing. Nope. No.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
Five, four, 3, 2.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and it is January 25th, 2022, and counting. We are here with Rick Berry, wonderful substitute host, partner in the business, the great Peter Coles, our producer, and right there on the screen, and she's, oh my God, she's in a field someplace. Janine Queenan. Janine's a mute. Oh, there you are. Hi, Janine.
Hey, Bob. How are you? Good morning.
Morning, Janine.
Good morning.
Yeah, but,
All right, now let me get the
Yeah.
four boxes worked out, and we'll see how everybody in a second.
Boy, that looks
Okay.
like somewhere in the vineyard or
Here.
something. Maybe in
It's
Tuscany.
oh, it's in
I think
Tuscany.
I need to fix my light, too. I know we're on
you're
radio,
killing
but
us.
Oh, we're on
No,
TV,
no,
too.
you're on television as well as the radio. We're in Southwick and Agawam now, so we're all over the place. Hi, Southwick. Hi, Agawam.
Bob has an
Uh,
empire.
I have a total empire. We're
Yeah.
trying to get into Springfield. Can we get into Springfield? Once I get into Springfield, here,
Forget
let's see. I'm trying to get in the middle of the box here. Okay, how's that? Better?
I
There we
got
go.
I got a quad box coming up, Bob. You can't. The problem with Zoom is you can't do something until everybody logs in because the screen changes as you're doing things, and you can't set it up in advance. It's really tough.
Oh. Well, Rick Berry has disappeared. He's there.
I'm
someplace.
working
still
on it.
here.
I'm working on it, Bob. I got to get
Oh, all right.
everybody situated first.
That sounds great. Sounds great. We are having a good morning, and are you plunging? The Penguin plunges this weekend, Janine Queenan.
am I? Absolutely not.
You're not.
No.
You're not going to come join
Good,
me.
good for everyone, and I'm happy to support, but I do not love the cold. So
You're not. You're
I'll
not going to.
ski, but I'm head to toe. I will
Oh.
ski, but I have electric boots and electric gloves.
Electric boots. Hey, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good thing.
Yes.
Bob,
if-
water and electricity do not mix.
They don't mix it. You have to put them on afterwards. Did Bob just tell me to jump in the water with electric boots on?
Do they have to be plugged in? How do you go down a mountain with electric boots?
So it's a little, and I've had them forever. It's a little contraption that hooks to the back of my ski boot, and I just recharge them. And it's this kind of it is an insert, and it warms the boots. I know all like the hardcore skiers are like dying right now. They're like, oh my gosh, what a wimp. But it's, you know what? I feel like I won't do it unless I do that. So, and I enjoy it with my kids. So it gets me out there.
It would seem to me, Janine, that would be a good market. I think people would buy regular shoes that were electrical shoes. We have electrical cars. Why couldn't we have electrical shoes?
Well, there are, you can buy electric socks, pants, shirts,
jackets,
vests. And I'm sure it's for a lot of people who work outdoors a lot of the time too.
I saw somebody.
Where have I been?
Somebody the other night walked into the bar when I was working, and both of them had electric jackets on.
Oh, nice.
You could see it had a blue light on it, and what it does is just heats the core of your body so you stay warm.
See, those are my kind of people.
Peter, James bought me an electrical blanket. I don't know why I'm asking Peter this. Bought me an electrical blanket for my birthday.
Don't take that into the bath with you.
I did something wrong with it. It stopped working. It will not. They don't last long, or do they? Janine, you were shaking your head.
No, so my gloves were not that expensive. I just bought them at Dick's. They were cheap, pretty cheap. But I did see some when we were skiing a few weeks ago. They were like, for gloves you could buy, they're about $400. So I would imagine those hopefully last longer than my cheapo ones from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh my God. Oh, speaking of Dick's, did you ever wear a Dickie in your life? Or do you have a Dickie in your closet?
Who, me?
Yes.
No, my son does though, and my son does. Yeah, it's style. They're in style for kids to wear, I guess.
They're back in style.
No. Seriously?
Yeah.
No, we were just joking about it earlier in the program.
You mean like the work clothes, the Dickie brand?
No, like the faux turtleneck.
Oh, I was thinking, isn't the work brand called Dickie too? That really heavy.
Yes, there's that. Yes, there's that. But then
that's what I thought you meant.
Then there's the faux turtleneck.
No, this is a fake neck.
Oh yeah, I still wear fake turtlenecks.
No, you really do?
Yeah, but I mean, they've been around for women for a long time. Like you wear them under sweaters and things like that. So that they have the fake turtleneck so that it's not super bulky, so you can wear it kind of layered and not look too bulky.
So it's to hide the neck, basically?
Yeah, to hide the neck, but not like a super heavy turtleneck, and then you put another sweater over it and things like that, kind of a fake turtleneck thing. Yes, you're learning something new every day, Bob.
Oh my God, how many? I'm going to turn the light off back here. Is that too much? Let's just... Let me, oh God. See, okay, I'm going to prove to you that I'm really old. Watch me get up. This is really something else. It hurts me right now, and I'm thinking oh my God.
Hey, Bob, I'm a fat man. Well, it's a little bit, you don't have the problems that I do, so.
Okay.
I want the Tuscany background just to feel like I'm out, and that's a beautiful picture.
Oh, I know. Isn't it gorgeous? I could go right now. Let's go.
Those trees there, they're cypress trees, aren't they?
Correct.
Cypress. And they look like fingers, like James has a poem that he wrote about Tuscany, and it's like fingers reaching toward the sky.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
It's beautiful. Yeah. Well, I'm going to Tuscany in the fall. I told you that, Bob. I'm leading a trip. So if anyone is interested in learning more about that, we're going in October, and just 16 people. And it really is going to be like the sights, sounds, aromas, tastes, because it's a food and wine tour of Italy. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh my God. Where when is it in October?
October 12th through 17th.
Wow. So it's a 5-day trip?
No, it's 8 days.
Oh, wait, 5? So, I don't. My addition is totally off.
7 days. I know, I can't even
Yeah.
count it.
Okay, 7 days, and you go to a villa, or how does it work? Would you
We're
explain?
staying at this place called Deauvillé, which is
The
it's a
Avila. I've
yeah,
been there.
you've been there.
You're staying at the winery?
We are. It's a 900-year-old vineyard and
I've been
winery,
there. Oh my
and
God.
just beautiful. And I'm really excited about it. And we'll be there. We're not moving around. We're staying there the entire time. So it's nice. So there's a lot of things included, like breakfast and your meals, your dinners and things like that. But I think that's going to be a really unique experience with cooking classes. We have a really fun, interesting Italian chef coming in. We'll have live music. We'll be visiting, the ancient medieval towns. We'll go to Siena. We'll have a chance to, visit a cheesemonger and a butcher and all the things. So if you enjoy food and wine, this trip is for you.
Wow. It sounds wonderful. Diavole, they have Chianti. It's the Chianti region of Italy. And you learn all about, I bet you'll have a wine tasting or a dinner. We had a wine tasting dinner at Diavole once, and oh my God. And the best thing about Italy is, this is good for you guys. You can drink all the wine you want and not be hungover because they don't have sulfites in the wine.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. I mean, it makes a huge difference how the wine's made. And everything there is really farm to table too. We'll really have a nice experience. And, we'll visit a chef at his family's 300-year-old vineyard and have music and food. It's just going to, I cannot wait. I'm feeling super confident that we are going. Everything's open.
Yeah.
Everything's open.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
talk about travel in a minute, but things are open and things are traveling. People are traveling.
Yeah. Hey, so how would anyone, if they were interested in going to Italy with you, how would they do it? You're at storiedadventures.com. I know that much.
Yes, I think the probably best way, because we're on the radio, is just to email me at Janine.
And television.
Yeah, and television. Janine at storiedadventures.com. If you want to learn more, I send you more information and see if the trip is right for you. But we do have a few more spots, so I'd be excited to have some people from the local area join us.
Oh,
that would
wow.
be great.
Janine, Janine, beautiful Janine, at storied, STORIED, like storied with an E on it, and get rid of the Y, storiedadventures.com.
Exactly.
Yeah, you make a story of every adventure that you traveling is an adventure, right?
Yeah, because every great story starts with an adventure. That's my tagline. So.
Oh man, it's exactly right. Now, so when Peter goes he's going to Florida with his girlfriend this weekend. Okay,
Nice.
That's an adventure, right? That's
Well,
traveling.
it's turning out to be that because it went from just going down to hang out to the way the schedule is shaping up. We might have 2, maybe 3 launches, maybe seeing one from the airplane as we're flying out.
Wow.
So it went from nothing to now we're going to see 1 to potentially 3 launches over the weekend.
Oh my God.
And one on the day we arrive right at sunset, which should be beautiful.
Does Fort Pierce, where is that in relationship to the map of Florida?
It's an hour north of West Palm Beach and about an hour and a half south of Cocoa Beach. So it's kind of right in the middle of the Treasure Coast.
So it's over on the west side?
Yeah. The Atlantic side,
Okay.
yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah. Janine, are you good with geography like
Port
that?
St. Lucie. You ever heard of Port?
I think she should be, Bob.
I should be, but you've all heard of Google Maps,
Yes.
right?
They are our friend.
Yes.
The Port St. Lucie's right there, Bob. South of there is I think Jupiter south of there or something like that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of towns right along Route 1.
Yeah. It's interesting that when you think of do you picture if I say to you Illinois, do you picture the map of Illinois, Janine?
No, I don't. Automatically. No, I don't. You know what? I might actually do that more for Europe. Like if someone's asking me about planning a trip, I do sort of think about where things are in relation to each other, because a lot of times people will contact me and want to jam in multiple countries in a really short period of time. And, and my response is always like, just let's look at the map so you understand how much you're traveling and things like that. Because I know Europe is small-ish compared to United States and things like that, but it's not. You can't fit 3 countries in a week's vacation and stuff like that.
No.
So
Actually,
I do
If you were
think
going,
of the
if you were in
map.
Paris and you were going to do a train trip to, let's say, Rome, and you wanted to do Paris, Rome, and maybe Vienna, I guess. I don't know. Let's just say that.
Right.
Paris to Rome, isn't that like an overnight trip?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
an overnight trip.
Like-
It's like from here to Florida.
Yeah, if you want to take a train, sure. You know,
Quick question, Janine. Is Eastern Europe kind of off limits right now? Is it kind of out of bounds with all the stuff going on in Ukraine?
you know what? I haven't seen any notification from the State Department. I do get their notifications. I have
Okay.
not seen that it's changed.
Because they were
But of
talking
course,
about.
you do want to be aware. I mean, of course, every time you travel, I always recommend that you check the State Department's website.
Because
and
they
look
were
at the
issuing
countries you're going to.
evacuation. They were issuing evacuation orders for Ukraine yesterday, saying
Yeah,
that
for the diplomats' families.
just no
Yeah.
U.S. citizens in general. They're like, you need to get
Oh.
out because we can't guarantee
So
that
there
we'd be
must
able to get
some
you out.
kind of- yeah, there must be some kind of government thing that tells you where do you go for that?
The State Department's website will tell you. If you look up the country, it will tell you what. So you can look up and they'll tell you any kind of travel warnings, what level they have, level 1 through 4 travel advisories. So it's just the U.S. State Department.
Does it also tell you COVID wise?
Yes,
I wonder.
yes, they do. They do all travel advisories. So for illnesses, for military action, for weather, anything. So it is good, but it doesn't hurt just to take a peek at it as you plan your trips. Of course, some of the things are so sudden, like especially a weather event. I mean, they don't know until it's happening. So that's why you need travel insurance.
Yeah. Well, especially sometimes in Europe, the trains aren't running. They strike every other day in Italy, from what I hear, right?
I was in Greece years ago, and they did go on strike, and we were trapped on Corfu, which is not a terrible place to be trapped. But
Oh my gosh.
because there were no ferries, you couldn't get from place to place. And when they finally did go back to work, and it was a weird strike, it'd be like 8 hours on strike and then not on strike, and you had to kind of find this window. We ended up going back to the mainland because we were like, okay.
Bob and Janine, so because we have the new system, we can show you this. There is their travel.state.gov.
Right.
It's pretty easy to understand, Bob. So you can
so you go travel
state.gov, and it will show you all the countries, travel advisories, date of issue, level 4,
Wow.
Liechtenstein, North Macedonia. Those are like all countries around the Ukraine.
Yes, the level 4, so that you can see that.
Yeah. Is there anyone that
And then there's the
level 4 is the highest? Is that right?
Yes, correct. That's a do not
Okay.
travel. That's what they're telling you. Do not travel. Level 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Ukraine
wonder-
the Ukraine advisory. That just came out in the last 24 hours.
I see. What about
there's a program
cruising?
called STEP that I don't know if you can find that, Pete, that you can register for it before you leave to travel, and the government will send you text messages or emails as things are happening, like on the ground, and like tell you how to get help if you need it. So say, for example, you're someplace and there's a terrorist incident, hopefully not, or a weather incident, the U.S. government will contact you and say, okay, this is what's happening. This is what you should do. Usually they tell you to, listen to local authorities, but it's a good, it doesn't cost anything. And again, it's through the government. So you decide whether you want to sign up for it, but it's helpful if you're traveling and you're worried about it.
Oh, that's a great suggestion. In terms of cruising, to know whether the cruise is safe or not, is there a?
Oh, I think you have to.
I wonder.
They are doing a ton. They're doing a ton. Like their safety protocols in the cruise industry it's better than probably any other thing in the travel industry. But it's hard. I mean, you're in a really close space with people, so. I don't know. People have to use their best judgment and decide what they want to do. I mean, a lot of people are cruising without incidents, but you see there's been problems, and not just with the coronavirus, but with the, Crystal Cruises.
Is that who that was?
Defaulting on loans and things. So that's what a nightmare.
So at that point, what happens? So at that point, what happens? With that cruise ship, it didn't dock where it was supposed to. It docked in the Bahamas because. Right. So at that point, what happens to the passengers?
Actually, on that one, I think the cruise line didn't they pay to bring a shuttle from a ferry from Miami?
Yeah, they did a ferry, and people were saying how it was awful. But I imagine going from a beautiful, Crystal Cruises is a high-end luxury cruise line, so I imagine going from that ship to a ferry. But they did ferry people back to the U.S.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't.
But you lost, you lost the rest of the cruise. You probably lost your money. I know I'm going back to travel insurance, but there are a lot of travel insurance policies that cover default, so you would be covered in this type of situation, but. Otherwise, I can't imagine any of those people are getting their money back if they're going into bankruptcy.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think that's the future cruises, but they were at the end of the cruise getting ready to dock at their final port, and there was a bill waiting for them by the people that supply the bunker oil of the ship, and it was like they owe them $4 million or something like that. And 1.3 in the port of Miami, and they were like, we don't want to lose the ship, so we're going to point it to a point where they can't extradite the ship or seize the ship. Because they were going to seize they were going to arrest the captain, but they weren't going to hold him, but they were going to seize the ship for assets to pay the bill. They had a court order to seize the ship. So the company's trying to protect the asset. That's why they turned it around mid transit from Bahamas to the.
They were going to, like, pirates were going to seize the ship.
No, they had a court order to seize the ship. They had a U.S. court order.
Sounds so
to seize the
ridiculous.
Asset. Yeah, they're going to seize the asset.
The poor passengers.
So
it's docked in the Bahamas.
I do feel bad for the industry as a whole too. Especially, this is just another thing to make people feel, not confident about cruising. And it's a huge industry, and a lot of people's livelihoods rely on it. So I'm hoping we can get it together.
Janine, we've been watching on Kenny's show, but I've been watching outside of that. The Port of Miami's been busy, but it's all these ships are canceling cruises now for like a month to let this wave kind of finish off. But they've been transiting back and forth to the Bahamas, and there's a staging area just off the Bahamas. Instead of idling off the port of the U.S., where the TV media has been covering them, like the line of ships that we had over last year. They've did the transit back to the Bahamas, and they've been anchoring off there, and they're getting no bad press coverage. So they're playing it. They're playing it smart. I would say they're playing it quite smart. The fact that they can't be seen by the TV cameras, at least in the United States, it's looked better for the cruise industry that they were like, all right, we're going to go to an anchoring point off the Bahamas and just kind of hang out there instead of hang out in the U.S. But they come to the port of Miami, dock for about 2-3 hours, replenish the supplies for the crew, and then head right back out of the port.
Yeah. It's tough because they like I said, they have done a ton to mitigate the problems on the ship, but it's a virus and there's only so much you can do. So, I think, Omicron is ripping through the United States anyway. So you're going to see it there, here, there, everywhere.
Yep.
Janine, when you talk about insurance, how does one go about buying insurance? Do you buy it through the cruise line? Do you buy it through the airline that you're, or the railroad that you're traveling on? Or is there a separate company?
There are separate companies. You can do both. So a lot of the companies now are offering sort of their own, it's not their own insurance, but it's the same as going through an insurance company. It allows you to get your money back if something's canceled, because up until now, all the terms and conditions are pretty much like you don't get your deposit back, or you get a percentage of it back and that type of thing. So they're offering a supplement so you get your money back if something happens. So that's one way to do it. But if you go through a travel insurance company like Travel Insured International or Alliance or something like that, it covers all elements of your trip. So, you go and you buy, you put in how much your entire trip costs for your airfare, your on the ground stuff, your accommodations, all that, and it will cover you for whatever policy you buy. Right. So just like regular home insurance or car insurance or whatever. There's all different levels of insurance, and the supplemental insurance, like you can add cancel for any reason. So that means that you can cancel for any reason, but you don't get the full 100%. It's usually about 75% of what you spent. You can also get coverage in case you get sick while you're traveling, if you catch COVID while you're there, or if you're not sick and you test positive and you can't come back to the United States, you can buy coverage that will pay for your accommodations and your board and things like that while you're traveling. Wow. So there's a lot of new things that are offered now, but you just really want to read through the policy, make sure it has what you need, right? And it's not that expensive. I mean, it's a percentage of what the cost of your trip. But I always say, if you're spending $10,000, $20,000 on anything, why wouldn't you insure it? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
What about if you're spending $3,000 or $2,000?
Well, you have to decide what if you can lose that without any problem, and then look at the cost of it and decide if it's worth it to you. But I do think that, so some of the places you go, and I just froze. So some of the places like Aruba I have to check if it's still the case. I would imagine that you had to buy insurance to go into the country, because they wanted you to have coverage in case you got sick while you were there. So there are going to be some destinations that you will have to buy insurance. And it just, I don't know, it makes sense. If you're worried about what happens if you get stuck there, it doesn't hurt to take a look at it.
Yeah. No. And if you lost your money or your clothes or something, well, the airline, that's probably another.
Yeah, but you end up having to fight. So a lot of travel insurance will cover if you lose a bag, if your flight's delayed, like if you say you are cruising and the flight's delayed and you miss the beginning of your cruise, some policies will get you to the boat and will reimburse you for that lost time and things like that.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Do some of those boats have heliports so that helicopters could bring people?
Do some boats? They do.
Is that a good idea? But
yeah, some boats do. I don't think, you're going to be on one of the mass market ships and have a heliport, but some of those cruise lines definitely do.
Bob, that's only to get you off if you're dying. The only time they use a helipad on a ship like that is to get you off if the Coast Guard has to land and evacuate you from a ship. Like if there's a major accident or you get stabbed or whatever.
But if I were late for the ship, which could happen.
Come on.
Like you get stabbed.
You get some angry person with a knife or something.
I hope not. Although things that are going on the airlines, on the airplanes now are just, I don't know what is going on. People punching flight attendants in the face. It's just, people have got to get a grip.
It's lack of alcohol.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think it is because of alcohol. I've just read about another plane having to turn around, and if I was on a plane and somebody was acting up and then they had to turn the plane around and land,
I'd be pissed. Yeah, I'd be pissed.
My gosh, I'd be out of my mind.
Well, I was on a plane once, and the pilot said something. If somebody doesn't get back to your seat, we're turning around and we're going back, or it was a threat. And I thought to myself, why are you going to punish all of us that are sitting here when that guy doesn't want to sit in his seat?
I know. Should have the passengers take care of it. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what it was? It was I think it was a mass thing. It wasn't another mass deal or something. They were on the Atlantic heading to Europe, and it was a mass thing, and somebody wouldn't comply, and they said, "Oh, screw it. We're just going to turn around and go back."
Yeah, there was a mass thing, and then two guys on a different flight went and sat up in business class and refused to leave. So they turned it around. I don't know why people think they can do whatever they want. I mean, our safety is the crew's priority. Like, you can't have disruption like that. I mean, you think you're in a little metal tube flying in the sky. Everybody has to behave, right?
It comes
because there's a lot that can go wrong, right? So
too many people are entitled nowadays. That's the problem.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. A little metal tube flying in the sky. What an image. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
you just scared Bob. Bob will never fly again.
No. Hey, let's take a break. I want to play a song by the Sparks Brothers. You got to see this. I played them last week, but they're really something else. The Sparks Brothers documentary on Netflix. They have been around forever. They change with the wind. And they and one of the things that they said on it is that every time they change their, you expect them to be this, they're that. And they're accompanied usually by music videos that are really way out. They also appear and have written the music for the film Annette, which is out now with Adam Driver, if you want to see them in action. But they're very strange and wonderful. And they write songs last week I played a song called A Chew. This week I'm going to play a song called Edith Piaf Said It Better Than Me. Edith Piaf. You know who Edith Piaf is?
No.
Rick.
No.
Edith Piaf.
No. The name
no
doesn't
idea?
sound familiar. No. Nope.
Janine. Edith Piaf.
I don't. No. Is she a poet? No.
Oh my God. Edith Piaf is the chanteuse who is so famous from Paris. I'm going to play her after. I'll play her at the next.
Bob, the fact that you lost me at chanteuse.
A chanteuse is a singer. You know.
Bob, I had a Catholic education. I know what it is. I'm just busting your chops.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's a little waif. She was a street singer.
Excuse me, that's not very nice, Bob.
Actually, the movie Piaf is really, really great. A thin little waif, but she had a voice. Well, Peter, just play 2 seconds of the song that I was going to play. I'm not going to have time to play it. I think it's at 6:57. Je ne regrette rien. You get a sense. Wait a minute. You can leave us on here while we talk.
Oh, I know the song.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're hearing commercials.
That's Edith Piaf. So she's singing a song.
Usually it's in Italian commercials too.
Oh, is it?
Like for Italian countryside, it sounds more Italian than French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's saying, I do not regret anything. And her life was spent that way. I mean, the movie Piaf will tell you all about her life. But so you heard her. She's got this really, oh my God, she's La Vie en Rose, all that great Edith Piaf stuff. But Sparks has a song called Edith Piaf Said It Better Than Me. Okay? So here we go. Let's hear Edith Piaf Said It Better Than Me.
It's a heart-warming song for the easily moved. The effect is all wrong. Plain to see I'm not moved as I stand in the light of a shop that is closed. God, I'd love me a fight. There's no poem, just prose. Edith Piaf said it better than me. Je ne regrette rien. Pretty song, but not intended for me. Time to put some music on. There were no smoky dives, fewer moves, fewer not. There were no petty crimes, foreign substances bought. said it better than me. Je ne regrette rien, pretty song but not intended for me. Time to put some music on, Edith B, I've said it better.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is January 25th, 2022 and counting. My name is Bob Plast. Hey, there's lots of happening down at the Westfield on Weekends, Westfield Wild Creative Arts Center. There are, in February, we've got some incredible stuff. There's classes. There is a meditation evening with art. There are two holiday, listen to me, up close and musical concerts, really wonderful concerts provided by the students and faculty of Westfield State. And there is also at the end of the month a wonderful children's event, Cupcakes, Cookies, and Community. I think it's Cookies, Cupcakes, and Community. Let me get that right.
Why does it have to be for kids? I like cookies and cupcakes.
Yeah, that's got to be for kids. And it's with a very wonderful Disney princess who reads, Belle, and it's all about learning, and it's a party with food, etc., and games and songs, etc., etc. And it might be virtual if we're not able to meet in person. And you can read all about it at westfieldonweekends.com or on our Facebook page. And hope you're up for that. Hey,
Bob, so speaking of travel, right?
Yes, what do you got, Peter?
If you want to go to the Olympics now, China's doing something interesting, testing-wise. They've reinstituted the anal swab test at the airport because they say, and this is actually true, that the COVID virus lasts longer in your poo than it does in your nasal cavity. So they've already asked American diplomats going in out to undergo anal tests, and they're saying
Who are
you can
doing these anal tests.
The Chinese coming in so if you come into the airport,
but are you going to drop trow and then somebody stick a Q-tip up your rear end?
Yes, over 10 centimeters apparently.
That's dreadful.
Over 10 centimeters, and apparently you can. Japan is calling on China to stop the undignified test, as some passengers said it's caused them psychological distress. But what they're saying is, and this is true, this is how the Omicron variant's been tracked through the U.S., is they're going to wastewater treatment plants, sampling the discharge, and that's how they see where the different variants are. So they are correct, but it is a little undignified to have to do an anal swab test at the airport upon entry to China.
Can't do it. You have to have somebody do it. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it on my own.
There's directions here.
They want you to do it on your own, Bob.
Look at the directions, Bob. There's actual directions on how to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
See?
Oh my God! Where do you get those directions?
I got
go
nothing.
Online.
No, it's with the test. It's all in Chinese, but they have good instructions on how to stick it up there.
Oh my goodness.
By yourself?
Yeah. Yep.
Don't get any ideas. I'm
So
not doing
this is in response to their first case of Omicron in Beijing. But they're going to make people do it only if you're allowed to go. Only if you're allowed to go to the Olympics, and they're actually canceling spectators now. But yeah.
Wow. Well, that makes a whole. I don't.
Imagine at the airport, Bob. Come
I
on
got
into
nothing.
the U.S. and have a poo test.
Take your shoes off, drop those pants, bend over, and have a good time. That's all I.
All righty then.
Oh,
All right.
God help us.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, listen,
Ginny.
All right.
that's a legitimate story right now.
I know. I
But
can't
they're
help
the
it.
only. I think they're doing it just to humiliate people. Honestly.
Well, believe me. Hey, today is National Plan Your Vacation Day. Did you know that, Janine? You could
I
capitalize.
did know that. Yes. I
Yeah,
think today's
yeah.
a great day to plan a vacation.
Yeah. How long out do you plan a vacation?
Depends on where you're going, and how involved the trip is. So if you wanted to travel to Europe this summer, I'd say start planning now. I don't know, Pete, how long does it take you to plan a trip to Florida?
I usually, because I'm going for the cheap airfares, I try to book several months out, but it's tough with launch schedules. Like we had a trip scheduled for mid-February, and the two launches we were going to see in Florida both got pushed to later dates. So we're trying to reschedule that now. But the earlier you book, the better your fare rates will be for flights, is what we found.
And I think Europe will be really busy this summer. I do. So if you do want to travel in the summer, you'd start looking at it. But I mean, the more sort of quote unquote exotic trips, if you want to travel, you want to go on an African safari, that type of thing. I mean, you need a year to kind of get that together.
Yeah, I was thinking that we were talking about renting a house. Sounds, it's actually I went on VRBO, and we were looking at believe it or not, England and or France, and in order to rent a house for 4 people, especially in France, where we were looking at the Bordeaux region, the wine region, it was only $2,500 for a month, a house for a month.
Yeah, but some of those houses make you rent it for a month.
Well, yeah,
I was looking at places in Florida that wouldn't take any less than a month rental.
Yeah. But
And I just want to point out too, just make sure it's real, because I really do. I have friends who just went to Austria and the house they rented was not real. It was not really available. So if it seems too good to be true, do a little bit more research. Like you can look up the address and see who owns it, things like that. So definitely just check it out, because we were looking, thinking about going to the Caribbean, going to the Bahamas, and we found this house that was unbelievable, but it just seemed too inexpensive. So we kind of drilled down, looked up the address to see who the real owner was, because it was just sold. It was not the same name as the person, things like that. But seriously, my friends did show up in Austria and the house did not exist. So it existed. It just was not rented to them. The house existed, but it was not owned, but it was a fake Airbnb.
Somebody else was there? Holy mother.
Yeah. And it was a fake Airbnb listing.
Oh, this is VRBO, and I thought to myself, geez, this is cheaper than a hotel. I mean, if you're going to stay for a long time, maybe it's better to consider, renting a house, and especially if you're not alone. I mean, there were 4 of us that were considering going. So when you divide $2,500 into 4 people, $600 for a month's lodging, pretty wonderful. I mean,
So Bob, are you going to do your show from Europe, is what you're saying?
I am, Peter. I am. I'm going to be, you see those trees behind, those are going to be real when we're doing this, Yes. When I retire to the Fiji Islands, I'm going to still be doing that. I'm already retired. What am I talking about?
I was going to say, when are you moving to the Fijis?
I don't know. I just made that up. I don't even want to move to the Fijis. Where would you move to? Where would you retire to, Rick? Ireland?
I don't know. I've never been to Ireland. There are actually 2 places that I want to go, as Ireland is definitely one of them, and Italy is the other one. I heard Janine talking about the Tuscany region. That's how I knew that picture was of Tuscany, because that is one of the places that I would love to visit. Also,
well, come with me in October.
And it's
Yeah.
it is really interesting where you'd like to retire. I love it in New England. Definitely the cold weather is getting to me, but I love the change in seasons.
Yeah.
Montana, I fell in love with Montana. I've been to Yellowstone 4 times, and I can't wait to go back again. I don't know if anybody here has been to Yellowstone or that area of the country, but it is beautiful out there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like Florida. I like to visit, but I don't think I could live there.
Yeah, I wouldn't retire to Florida. I like the Arizona region. I like Arizona, but the strange thing, and I probably will have to talk to my friends like you guys before I ever make that position or that decision, because we drive in the driveway and I come into this house and I go, oh, we love our house. I love our house. And then I think, oh, but we want to go and see someplace else and live. And then I think I'm not going to be able to see Peter. We're not going to be able to fight together. I'm not going to be able to, if Peter could promise me that I could do the show wherever I landed.
I'll be nice, Bob.
Oh, I love it. See, and then you guys could all come to wherever I am. So maybe I will consider Fiji. What do you think?
There you go.
If we just need flights, yeah, I could do that.
I could do a show from there. How about you, Janine?
Oh, absolutely. France or anywhere you go, Bob. We're with you.
I've got a couple of things and one of the things is a friend of somebody I work with actually just came back from their honeymoon in St. Lucia. It was a 6-night adventure for their honeymoon. Ended up to be 15 nights. First of all, their flight got canceled, and they were going to fly them out 2 days later, and they had tested negative just before I guess there's something that they were testing prior to them leaving the island.
Mm-hmm. To get back into the United States, you have to test negative, yeah.
Right, so they tested negative. So the airline put them back up at their hotel for another 2 days for canceling the flight.
Wow, so they got 2 days.
Right, so as they were getting ready to leave, they were tested again, and they were tested positive. So now they have no money. They can't afford the hotel. They can't afford this. The hotel ended up putting them up for the rest of the time because they had not left for free because they had not left the resort. And they had gotten COVID.
Oh,
so I mean, it was one of the. She said it was one of those all-inclusive resorts, and it was very nice, and they were actually very friendly. They didn't even argue about it. The hotel offered it right away.
That's great.
So, and then the other thing is that we are all up in arms here about traveling and showing our cards to get into foreign countries and stuff like that. So. Janine, I don't know if you know this. I'm on the board of directors of the International Volleyball Hall of Fame.
I didn't know that.
And we are in the midst of an archive project of trying to digitize all our archives and going through the vast majority of what we have over there. So we were digging through some stuff, and we found a immunization passport from the 1960s.
Wow.
It was inside a gentleman named Fryermood. He was a big historian and big into the USA volleyball and things like that, and has a lot of stuff. And inside one of his passports was a card for his immunization for smallpox, and it was one other. It was double-sided, so there was on each side. So, and it was stamped to when he was immunized.
Yeah.
So this has happened before. So
yeah, and you have to get your yellow fever vaccination. You go to a lot of countries.
That might have been the other one. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. So it's a couple of pretty interesting travel things. So, and
if you go to, there are some countries that you go to that you have to be immunized.
Yes.
Oh, a ton.
Italy is one
there
of
are
them.
a ton?
Italy is one of
Yeah.
them. Is that correct? Italy
Yes.
is one of them.
And I'm pretty sure all the countries in the EU.
Yeah.
So it's just the way of the future. People can complain all you want, but if you want to go there, you have to do it. There's not any way around it. So that's the choice you're going to make. If you dream about going to Italy, you will have to be vaccinated to go to Italy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, and I must say, watching the news and, getting inundated with all this, that it seems like one of the few countries in the world that did it right was Italy.
I think they were hit so early. They were like the, original.
Right. And once they saw what was happening, they shut down the whole country. Nothing was coming in and nothing was going out. So, and it contained it. So that's really, pretty interesting to see what's happening in the world. And, I don't mind if I have to travel to a foreign country to show my immunization. My issue is it within the United States to have to show that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna agree to disagree.
So, it's one of those things. That's a personal choice. And, that is, within the United States, it's, free travel. So basically they're saying somebody who is not immunized can't travel within the borders.
But you're saying, so I don't want to get an argument about it, but so say Hawaii, you can say that the state of Hawaii can't decide if they want people vaccinated to come in.
Well, they are. The issue is I'm conflicted in that with it because it's part of our Constitution allows for free travel within the United States, and I know Hawaii wasn't one at the point, but they are now part of the United States. So we are guaranteed.
I don't think we should go down this road.
But we are guaranteed free travel. That's my thing. And I understand why they want to do it.
We don't get to do everything that we want to do.
Yeah. And I understand.
We have to be concerned about other people's health and safety as well. We don't get to do everything we want to do.
And I understand why they're doing it. So that's where the conflict comes in.
Well, it's a hard one because you're a legislator and you are there for the safety of people, and you always want to err on the side of caution, I suppose. And if you make those decisions for folks, we made the decision that smoking, all about smoking and saving people's lives, and we've really helped that, and I think that in a sense was a mandate, and it worked. I don't know. I think it's a different time when we're all, wanting to be safe. I always worry about the person across from me who may not be vaccinated and be coughing in front of me or whatever. And will I get sick? I don't know. Will I get lightly sick? More likely than not, because I've been boosted. But it creates anxiety on a lot of our parts, and we want to make people feel good about travel. We want to make them feel good about living their lives, and I don't know, unless I prescribe Xanax for everyone. I don't know. We're in an anxious state right now, and it's hard. It's really a really hard decision, and I think that we have to be kind, and I think you are kind, Rick. You understand that there are folks that have differing opinions out there, and you'll understand that, and you can make your statements and say, I wish it were different. And we can listen, and we can choose to do what we could choose not to wear masks and get arrested, I suppose, in some countries. Would that be the case?
I don't know if they're arresting people for not wearing masks. I don't know. Janine, are they in other countries? No,
I don't think so. I would imagine maybe a fine.
No,
or something like that.
Oh, fine.
Yeah. I mean, they have, like people who people were bringing fake vaccination cards to Hawaii. They were getting arrested for that.
That's a different story. That's just you can buy them at eBay or whatever.
I always think about this vaccination sort of stuff, or or even I remember when I was trying to drink when I was underage, and I had my. Did this happen to you guys? Oh, maybe you didn't. But I had a somehow or other I bought somebody else's ID, and I had to look like the person whose picture was
That's
there.
a fake ID, Bob. Fake ID.
Fake
I think
ID.
we probably all had one.
No,
Did you ever have one?
Actually, I never did, because when I was 16 years old, I looked like I was about 30. So, and I was sitting in the bar. I can say it because it actually doesn't exist right anymore. The old 252, and sitting at the bar, and was served a beer. I didn't ask for it. The group I was with, the group I was with ordered it for me. So it was like, never got questioned. Since then. So because I've always had, even at 16, I had facial hair. So
yeah. Well, there was the Valhalla. It was torn down to make way for a highway in Worcester. And when I was at Holy Cross, we used to go to the Valhalla, where a woman named Dottie, the waitress' name was Dottie. She had a face, that skin that looked like a tooled leather handbag. And I remember we went in there and we got served, and we were juniors. So I was probably 17 at the time. And we got served once. And so we went back, and then the bartender got to know us. And then we became regulars at this bar so that they'd have our drink ready for it. I mean, it was like, holy mother. I went to a funeral of a man who was drinking there all day long and fell off the bar stool, and I felt sorry for him, so we went to his funeral. It was that kind of relationship. And I didn't have to use that card. But the first night I used my card, I got the police confiscated it. Somehow or other, I don't know. My mother had called the police and said, be on the lookout for this guy.
Bob, has that happened to you more often, that somebody's called the cops and to be on the lookout for you?
Yes. Yes, to tell you the truth. The cops here in town look out for me as well.
Yes.
I mean, they don't ever do anything illegal, but they're kind to me. That's nice. We've got some wonderful police here in town. That they're great. But it is always a pleasure to have you on board, Janine. What is your New Year's travel resolution?
Just to travel more.
To
get back out there. To get back out there. Yes.
Got it. Well, you're from StoriedAdventures.com. You also have a what is that? Middle-aged women who are.
No, it's called
Bob.
It's called Women with Wanderlust Tribe on Facebook.
What is it?
It's for Gen X and young baby boomer women who love to travel.
So what's the name of the thing? It's not middle-aged women, because you're not middle-aged.
Bob, she's in her 30s.
I am middle-aged, but it's Women with Wanderlust Tribe.
Women with Wanderlust
Tribe.
Tribe.
On Facebook.
With a T,
Bob. Women
with
Wanderlust Tribe on Facebook. Okay,
Yes.
I got it. Jeez, Rick, maybe we could have Men with Wanderlust? Finish that sentence for us. What group are we going to?
I don't think Men with Wanderlust goes well together. I don't think so.
No, it's going to attract the worst type of people. No. Men with lust in their hearts. Jimmy Carter, where are you? Remember him?
Yeah, he's still around. He's still kicking.
Yes, he is. How old is he now? He's up there.
He's in his 90s?
90s, yeah.
So, Bob, what are you going to end with this week? Because we're coming up on time.
Oh, my God. Look, I apologize to Wisconsin. I have not been able to play the songs. But today is, I'm going to, you know what I'm going to play? It's a great version of Old Lang Syne, because today is Robert Burns Day. all throughout the world. And Robert Burns, the great Scottish poet, he wrote most of the song Old Lang Syne. And Old Lang Syne is a beautiful song. We don't always have to play it at New Year's, okay, even though that was a Scottish tradition. It means Old Lang Syne means days gone by. So you're talking about days gone by. So I've got a version of Old Lang Syne that it's just from the heart. I love it. And the guy's name is, I think, Richie Burns, and it's from an album of music based on Robert Burns' poetry. So, yeah, let me say, Ronnie Brown, Richie Burns. His name is Ronnie Brown, Ronnie Brown, Browne. And it's on Lynn Records. It's a multi-volume Burns collection. And this is Old Lang Syne from that. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to say goodbye to Janine. Janine, storiedadventures.com. Travel safely, everybody. My friends, Rick and Peter, I'm going to stay on. We're making the list this week, I think.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
And I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Stay tuned. Here's Old Lang Syne, Ronnie Brown.
Janine, thank you.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and old lang syne? For old lang syne, my Joe, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for old lang syne, and surely he'll be your pine stoop, and surely I'll be mine, and we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for old lang syne, for old lang syne, my Joe, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for old lang syne. We twain about the breeze and put the gowans fine, take a cup o' kindness yet for old lang syne. And there's a hand, my trusty fear, and gaze a hand o' thine, and we'll take a ragged whirly walk for